So, in theory, we should be live now. Please bear with me just one moment as I finish getting my chat side of things set up here. Alright, there we go. Everything should be good to go now. I think I can set that aside. Yep, alright, there we go. Awesome. Good to go. So, in between last stream, when I thought I was completely done with Pokemon Scarlet, we had cleared out the DLC to the best of my knowledge, which, you know, at this point I might be wrong about that. And it was brought to my attention by one of the viewers in Discord, Rigid Rat, that I completely missed the post-game content in the mainline game. You know, where you go back and you do the rematches with the gym leaders, and apparently there is more after that. And the only reason I even had this brought up in the moment that I thought to ask about it was, first of all, Rigid had brought it to my attention before, and it completely slipped my mind. And after that, he shared some image of a Pokemon, I can't even remember it at this point, that I had not seen, and I said, hold on, is there more DLC? And he said, Ian, you idiot, you missed some content. So, yeah, that's, I guess, what I've got to go do right now is, per the steps that I recall him saying, step number 1, I've got to go through and I've got to have these rematches. So we are here at, I believe, the Bug Trainer location, and we are with the same lineup of people that we had in the party before. And I'm just gonna throw, I guess, the fire type up front, and we're gonna go in here and see how it goes. Obviously, this is, you know, post-game and me doing a bunch of things on my own and all of that stuff, so I mean, I'm sorry, guys, my team is what it is, but I'm not necessarily... Oh, I guess I talked to her specifically then? Hello there, my name is Katie, and I'm the... but we've already met at this point, but okay. Oh, the new champion everyone is talking about. Is it actually you, sweetie? Yeah, no, that's me. Champion Ian. Hooray, I guessed correctly. I suppose that makes sense, though. You sure were strong. You really looked like you were enjoying yourself when you tried my sweet treats, too. People like that always have great potential. So you're here on an errand for the top champion, are you? I had completely forgotten that she was supposed to be going around for inspections. Thankfully, I just happened to be here today to give cakes to my staff. Whew, lucky me. Yeah, you know, the inspection that was probably supposed to happen... God, when did this game come out? Was this game like 2022? 22, 23? Either way, the inspection that was supposed to happen by me years ago at this point. Very well then. Is it time for me to get a taste of our new champion's strength? Is it really this easy? I just walk in here and say, yo, fight me? Oh, what fun. Let's go somewhere more suited for battling. What is up with the color of her skirt, by the way? It was like kind of doing some weird fading in and out. Anyways, Rigid, welcome to the stream. Hopefully things are going well. Let me know, fill me in. And I am going to be working on clearing out these gym leaders and seeing about finishing off this content. And I think, you know, on Memorial Day, not a bad thing to sit back and enjoy some more Pokemon. Because it's been a good long while since we've had some Pokemon content on this channel. And it looks like the next time we're going to have more of that is going to be, what, the next Legends game? I remember your olive rolling prowess very well, Ian. You had such vigor, it was almost as if you had terrestrialized into a fighting type yourself. How many gyms have you been to when you first came to mine? Was it your first? The Cortando gym is close to the academy, so many young trainers start out... no, I went to the grass guy first, I think, but, you know, it's this was viable. With that in mind, La Primera asks me to go soft on trainers like a nice sponge cake. I feel sad for my sweet little bugs, though, since that means they quite often lose their battles. But opportunities like this get me excited because I can finally show my true skill. Allow me to knead you into submission. Please? Yes? So, Rigid, how was your holiday? Hopefully you got to do some fun things or got involved with something to entertain you through the day. Don't expect me to be sweet today, and don't cry when you taste bitter defeat. Alright, all things considered, I still think low kicks with its common rider. Ooh. Maybe I should just swap out some team members just for the sake of a little bit better lineup, but you know, I'm in what I'm in, and I kind of came in here just thinking I was gonna grab what I left off with, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing right now. But you know, if anybody wants to see me swap out some members, we can see what we can do there. I don't even remember what I have sitting in my boxes at this point. It has been so long since I've done any Pokemon content. You know, let's just slap an extreme speed. I don't think it has anything that's going to cut me off, but just in case. I say just in case like I'm not 30 goddamn levels over everything she's going to throw at me. Which is a damn shame, because honestly, she's got some fun Pokemon. Love me a Heracross. There's also some actual story after you beat them. Beating them is just required to unlock it. You'll need the mythical Pecha Berry, which you can obtain via a mystery gift. Well, if I have to do a mystery gift, I will. For the record, still have mad love for Heracross, and it is entirely because of the anime that did that to me. You know, I guess so far I'm just going to keep Fire Fang. I'm just going to eat my way through a pile of bugs. I'm not going to eat my way through this pile of bug. Round 2. There we go. Ooh, hold up. An Ursaring? That is a fun one. Let's see. Let's throw the rat into the ring. See if we can't do some damage. As I recall, when I incorporated Rigid Rat in here, it was very, very strong physical attack. That was kind of the entire thing that I built this Sandslash for. So, I assume she's going to terrestrialize it into some form of bug. So, I guess I'm just going to rock in there with a Rock Slide. My sweet little bear, show me your new form as if you were a bug emerging from its cocoon. Getting all honey up in here. How very, CCP of her to come in here with a bear. Making me think of the honey references and the Winnie the Pooh. Luckily, I was able to get in there with a rock and just beat it down. Hopefully, we're going to get into some fun interactions because a lot of the... I see you've emerged from your chrysalis and became a beautiful new you. Anyways, like I was saying, a lot of the characters in this generation of game are hit and miss on personality. Either they have a lot of it, or they really just don't have much at all. And as far as an opening battle, Katie is one with, unfortunately, rather low, memorable personality traits. Or anything to really stick to other than, oh yeah, the bug lady with the olive. That was quite the battle. I must say that your skills rivals that of even La Primera. Ah, how sweet it is to be without holding back, even if I end up losing. I am beginning to think that going soft on people may be no good for either party. Yeah, you know, when people are just starting out and they're saying, hey, I want to take on the gym challenge, it really just emphasizes your need to grow as a person to just say, hey, that level 5 starter that you got, go up against a team of level 60s. I say knowing full well that I just fought you with a team of level 90s. Hey Richard, how are things going? Hopefully things are going well for you. And same thing as I asked of Rigid, let me know if you guys did anything at all for the Memorial Day holiday. I had a fair bit going on with family. You know, I've mentioned before the general family dynamic living arrangements. Please, one moment here. Yeah, the family dynamic that I have going on here, so you can imagine that we all had a fairly close event. And some people may or may not have done some drinking and just crashed in places wherever they found it. So that was that's a thing that has happened over here. Heracross did love sucking. Yes, Heracross did enjoy love. Wait. Hold on. Bear with me. You're talking about Heracross sucking off Bulbasaur, and that was exactly how it was played off in the show. I'm not, like, super big into, like, I'm going to probably screw up my language here, etymology of plants, per se. I do a fair bit of gardening, but it's more just hobbyist level and, making sure I get some good food onto my plate, come the seasons for the growing. And pollen is basically plant jizz. Like it is produced when the fruit bearing plants do the things that, the insects come by, they pick up the pollen from one, they go to the other plant, all of that stuff. We learned the general gist of it in elementary school, middle school. So yeah, going off of that, pollen is basically plant jizz, and Heracross quite literally grabbed Bulbasaur and sucked it dry of pollen. Am I remembering this incorrectly? So, per the understanding and the possibility of Bulbasaur being just as much plant as it is animal, quite literally, you're right, and this was aired on a child's show in which Heracross quite literally sucked off Bulbasaur in the series. And Dem comes in on that, and the unfortunate timing in which we are not talking about a Vaporeon. I am sorry about that, Dem. Anyways, how are things going? Hopefully things are going well for you, and I'm fairly certain you guys did not have a holiday out over the seas in Wales. I'm sorry, it took me a second there. But all the same, how has your Monday been? Hopefully things are going well, and hopefully we're getting somewhere with the ladies. Because that is what I've been wanting to see from you there. Because you, my friend, certainly have some fun stories these days. Anyways, forgive me with the voice. I realize right now I can already feel my voice starting to go. It's been a long weekend. Might be heading to the store in a bit, so if I do, I'll be quiet for a bit. By all means, Richard, hopefully you have a good run for it. Oh, bank holiday? What the hell is a bank holiday? Banks get holidays? My culinary teacher, Mr. Kofu, did tell me to put more of myself into my baking after all. I think I may try conducting battles in more of my own style from now on. If trainers complain that the Cortando gym is suddenly more difficult, I'll just tell them that not all pastries are sweet. I stand by what I said. People can't be starting out and just being like, oh, hey, here, fight a level 60. That's kind of bullying. I hope to see you again someday. And honestly, it's one thing, for me to come in and do that. I'm the, 10, 11-year-old kid, and you're the seasoned veteran, well-versed in Pokemon battling. Oh, okay, bank holiday is in banks are not open. Okay. Thank you for that. No, a bank holiday is like a national holiday. What the fuck is this? Hold up. You're telling me out in Wales, y'all are just like banks get a holiday. What What is the holiday for? What is a bank holiday? Because that, just, my brain has trouble computing with that. But also, I'm coming from the filthy American brain of bank, fuck off, leave me alone. Just like government and big business. Fuck off, leave me alone. Alright, I think next is going to be, we're going to go over to the fairy lady. Forgot, can't fly there, gotta fly to the Pokestop. Basically, everywhere is open Sunday times instead of Monday times. So, like, the hours of operation are working on whatever their Sunday hours would be, rather than Monday, which would be a work week. Any other time? Am I somewhere in the realm of understanding this halfway correctly? Where's the tower? There's the tower. Also, again, my brain is just... Again, like... Bank holiday. That's what I'm asking, Rigid, is what is the Welsh lore here that I'm missing out on? Because my brain is just having trouble understanding. Again, maybe it's just my filthy American brain saying, but banks are bad, no holiday for banks. Banks fuck off. Her accessory actually flutters. Did it do that before and I just didn't notice? Or am I just, like... not remembering her to that extreme. Oh, if it isn't Ian, it's been too long. Your beauty has become even more refined since the last time we met. Yeah, you too. Who taught you the art of flattery? Is my young friend all grown up now? Tulip, let me tell you about, oh god, I'm gonna fuck his name up. Let me tell you about the situation that I had out in the Blueberry Academy with Dresden. I feel like I got his name wrong, but I'm fairly close. Unfortunately, it has been a long-ass time since I played. And I'm sure Rigid is gonna tell me that I'm an idiot and got the name wrong. So you're here in place of Kita, are you? Just between you and me, I'm not exactly her biggest fan. That bewitching aura of hers overlaps too much with my own style. So it may be for the best that she sent someone else for the job. With you, I feel I can really give this battle all I've got. Drayton, okay, thank you. That's my mistress, also, I am here. Welcome in, Keegs, how are things going? Hopefully things are going well. I know for a fact that you would be, far more in the holiday I understand. So, how was your Memorial Day, Keegs? Hopefully things are going well for you. Fill me in. What'd you do? All right. Yeah, that's it. So, most big shops close at 4 and a lot of small local shops will be shut. She makes it flutter. Honestly, that's a cool idea if she actually has psychic powers. I know she's doing the psychic gym. But does she herself have psychic powers? Okay, but let's ignore the 26th. It's the 27th over here, which means it's... Holy shit! Hold on. Wait. Do I have that in the calendar? I feel like I have that in the calendar. Damn, I don't have your birthday in my calendar. Why do I not have this in my calendar? Anyways, happy freaking birthday. Hopefully you can... Come on, work. There we go. Hopefully it's going to be awesome for you. I imagine you're going to go out with friends, do a little drinking, have a night out. Without further ado, are you ready to pursue quintessential beauty together? Tulip, I have a boyfriend. And a rival. And... oh man, I can't remember her name. Whatever the lady from the Blueberry Academy's name is, whatever she is to me, because there's a whole complicated love quadrilateral here. It's not really a triangle. I don't know what to call it. Wonderful. Let us head to the battle court. I'm a uni student. Of fucking course I'll be drinking. Well, that's exactly what it needs to be. Go out, get drunk, find a girl, have a happy birthday. And I will not say more because I feel like YouTube is not going to be happy if I go into the details. The I'm not gay butt vibes kicking in like Xanax. Oh man. Look, I have pretty much canonicized that Scarlet Ian is in a complicated relationship, but definitely swings both ways. Oh, this is terrible. Oh boy. Seeing my mom in the day, going with her to get food. Oh, yo, hold up. Yeah, go out and get some. Obviously, if it's your birthday, hopefully you're going to go out and get some good food, and it's not just going to be some... Again, one of the things I hate doing out here in the States is, oh, hey, it's your birthday, let's go get McDonald's. I get it for some people that's eating out, and for you, for the scenario where that is the application, by all means, go out and enjoy yourself. Don't cook at home. Go get something good. But I'm of the opinion that when it's your birthday, you pick where you're going to go eat, and people come together and figure out how the hell you getting the meal you want. And frankly, out here, I like a little bit of there's a local burger joint, probably my go-to place to go to on my birthday. Otherwise, I do actually try to go do like family things. And so I think not last year, the year before, when my birthday rolled around, I think we went to Rainforest Cafe and I took my nieces and nephew. So that was kind of fun. I've also taken them for their birthday as well because apparently they love that place. Ah, the rush of exhilaration before battle. Every cell in my body is humming with excitement. Having a totally amazing opponent such as yourself makes the feeling even more powerful. You know what? I'm really happy right now. A diamond in the rough that I helped to polish is now sparkling as bright as the finest of gems. Seeing others working so hard allows me to work hard myself and never shed a tear. Sadness is not in my vocabulary. Whoa! What life are you living where you're just like, yeah, sadness, fuck off with that. You know, loved one dies, there is no sadness. That's a hell of an absolute. Sadness is not in my vocabulary after all. The closest emotion I allow is the beauty of surprise. Allow me to teach you how to do true emotional spectrum practice. Okay, so that's her ESP. Is that what ESP really is? Because I've never looked into it. I've just, always just half-assedly just like, yeah, psychic. Scarlet Ian's relationship wouldn't be so complicated if he had a Vaporeon. Oh, there's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman. Oh no. I had a full-blown birthday party at McDonald's. Look, again, if that's what you absolutely want, by all means. I've never been one for McDonald's being, like, fine dining. Let's start with the Fire Fang and we'll swap on out when we go into somebody else here. I was turning 6. Look, that is a whole different thing. Now that I'm getting that far down, I am well in the realm of understanding a 6-year-old's consideration on something like that. For a special Pokemon event like getting to see the gym leaders actually going all out and just bust ass. I didn't read what it is, I just know that it's something else, so I'm going to swap into Rich. Anyways, there's surprisingly few people here, but also, we kind of understand the limitations of this game at this point, and it's not really worth beating it up too much for. By the way, has anybody seen some of the screenshots for what supposedly this game is going to look like updated on the Switch 2? For the record, I did not put in my pre-order for the Switch 2. It was not even something I bothered to go for. I am at the point right now where I'm not sure if I'm even going to get it because of a lot of the problems coming around with all of the physical ownership and just so much Nintendo shittery. But I'm not ruling it out entirely. I'm really, really hopeful that they're going to intervene on some of these things, change a couple of policies, and at least walk back just enough for me to begrudgingly pick it up when some of the games I do eventually want to get come to the system. And for the love of God, Nintendo, let me have a physical version that actually means something. This fucking key card bullshit was great when it was an option and that's what people were thinking of, but now it seems like damn near fucking just about everything is coming out with the key card, which just seems absolutely dog ass. Alright, let's swap Dem in here. I think Dem is going to be pretty good psychic breaker. I don't know, Dem, this lady, how do you feel about bending her over your knee? I went for a 2-hour drive with my mates today, which was nice, as I never really get to that far out of town, and I think we'll go to... Okay. Dem, I hear you on that. I'm just saying, a 2-hour drive in America is very different than a 2-hour drive over in the Euro regions. I take a 2-hour drive every weekend to go see my girlfriend, so it's like, again, I think we've had the discussion here. America driving is very different. Let's chew on the Gardevoir here. But I also know that that kind of driving out there is regionally massive, and you can actually do a fair bit on that kind of a drive. So hopefully it was good and enjoyable. I think we'll go to a restaurant in that town over today. Awesome. ESP actually stands for extrasensory perception. But yes, that's the joke. Well, like I said, I've never even bothered to look big into it. I'm not psychic, so I don't really care, and I don't know a lot of people that claim to be psychic, so never really come up much. Nope, Dem's staying in there. Dem's got work to do. Dem's just gonna eat her team in front of her. Yo, yeah, chuck some photos in the Discord. We love seeing what's going on out there. I'm doing good as well, waiting to see when I'm heading to the store, and also waiting for another friend to have some... Ooh, alright, got some premieres going on YouTube. I have no idea what she's sending out, I just know that Dem is more than equipped to beat it into the ground. Keegs, I'm a psycho. Join the club on that one. Wait, she's gonna terrestrialize this thing, isn't she? It's kind of her whole thing, so let's pop into the crunch. I imagine I'm gonna be too fast for it and I'm gonna miss this. I thought she was gonna be faster than Dem. Clearly, I underestimated the prowess of the muscle that is Dem. Alright, we are going on. We both are terrestrializing. Good to see. You can tell how absolutely long it's been since I've played this game. I posted in the Discord the other day a post saying that there will be a special mark on the cartridge itself when it is a key card and not an actual physical copy. That's something at least. Well, yes and no. That's great for if I'm buying a resale game and I don't know off the hand and I'm only holding the physical card in hand. It really doesn't mean a whole lot when it comes to the buying a game new, because on the box art they will also have a section where it says that it's a key card. A shocking glow up, to be sure. Yeah, so they are going to have on, from what I've seen, it's actually listed on the box art as well that it's a key card. And so for how I buy games, you know, I buy them when they come out and I play them when I get around to them. I'm one of those guys that has long had no issue paying full price for the game I want, because I want the physical copy, and I want to be sure I get my copy in hand and that I'm able to play it on my leisure, not on whenever a sale comes up or anything like that. Now, there are games that I do that with on PC all day long, but this is also one of those things why, when it came to their price hike, my problem is the value per money, not the idea of spending that much money on a game. My concern is that they don't have a long history of showing me that the games they have are worth that big asking price that they're going for. But that's diving into a topic that we're not really here to discuss. The game card thing, my issue is a lot of the third-party developers are turning to it as the option because it's cheaper, and Nintendo has done some fuckery on the back end that basically says, hey, if you're going to make a physical game, you can do the key card thing, or you can pick one of two options for the actual physical card. By the way, it's going to cost more money, so everybody's just like, oh, absolutely, we're going to take the cheaper option and take a bigger cut of the profit line. Because why wouldn't they? And therein lies a big part of the problem with the physical release. Wow. And what I will say is, sorry about the allergies. What I will say is, this is seemingly reminiscent of the problem they had in the Wii U era, where they didn't have a lot of third-party support. And what we're going to see here is while they're going to have the third-party support in so much as the game's releasing on the console, you're going to have a lot of people like myself that are looking at the game that they're going to be buying and saying, do I want the Switch version, or do I want the PC version at this point, or whatever other version I'm going to play it on? Do I have access to more powerful hardware? The only option I get as a benefit with the Switch is the portability, which for me as a player has never mattered anyways. So if I'm looking at a game and I'm saying, can I get a key card with a box that I can put on my shelf? Or do I get the PC version and just say, hey, fuck off, at least this way, if there's ever any mod support, I can make use of that, or I can make use of the power of my PC to do other things as I go along. So, what I'm getting at is, Nintendo is kind of shooting themselves in the foot on this one. It's the problem with the digital-only verse as well, that a lot of the other consoles are wanting to push towards. It's one thing when the digital option exists as an option, but when it goes beyond an option and it's incentivized to go to that, and you start to erode and decay, and in this case, remove the physical option entirely. And by remove the physical option, I mean if you have a key card physical release and no other physical option, even with an upcharge for that version, it's what the fuck's the point of the case there for that to someone looking to get a physical? If you're gonna make it digital only, in my case, why the fuck would I get it on the Switch? And so it's just kind of ass. I'm gonna get Legend ZA for the Switch, and that'll be it for me for a while. Yeah. The STW media on the Discord, oh, alright, you know what? I will take a look at that right now, because, you know what? I support the community side of things, and oh my god, that is a pretty lake. I have said before, I am a big fan of the water lifestyle. One of the things I love about living in Michigan is the Great Lake access that we have. And so, you know, seeing some pictures like this is absolutely fucking beautiful to me. So, thank you very much for sharing that, and I'm probably going to take a little bit closer look at some of those later on. I saw some boats in there. I'm a big fan of boats too. Boat lifestyle. Would love to be living on a boat. Would be terrible for an internet connection, and storms would suck ass, but would be really dope. ESP could also stand for extra small business. Let me take a drink and really deal with that cough in my throat. You know, I'm making a lot of money off of these people. All things considered. I just gotta go in there and say, hey, Dem, go rob her of her lunch money for me. You're the total package. I'd expect no less. Beauty, strength, you've got it all. Well, at least she knows who she's talking to. You know, in my line of work, people who lack talent in one area or the other often fade away, never to be heard of again. Met with all kinds of setbacks, they fall into corruption in their desperation and end up even more miserable than the mundane do. Well, you know, that's a really good description for like the pop culture icon reference. You get big, you fall into a I don't know, a rut, a pit, whatever you want to call it, and you lose yourself to the falling grace. Meanwhile, those of us that never had that grace, we're just like, yo, fuck it, we the greatest. So, you know, that's always that's the trade-off, I suppose. It would be better for those people if they never had even the slightest bit of talent to begin with. That's kind of harsh, but also not too out of line with what I was just saying. Don't fade away, Ian. I want to see just how far your talent can go. This can be a promise between us. I hope you won't break it. You did splendidly today. Thank you for everything. Alright, now I need to take a minute and deal with some allergies. Alright, sorry about that. Boat stream arc coming soon. God, that would be so cool. I would have to actually, like, get a proper camera for that, just so that I can stream and just turn the camera to the side at some point and just be like, oh, look, beautiful water. Oh. Alright. If I recall correctly, I don't remember this man, but he was rather enjoyable. He was the guy that made us go do some shopping for him. But something about his personality, I recall just being really, like, super positive, big guy, bubbly teddy bear energy, and I liked that. Oh, that's right, I gotta climb the wall. AC6 all over again. Oh, they won't let me! Well, it's not supposed to be that easy, not even in Armored Core. I'm going to have my climb the wall moment, and you're not taking it away from me. Even if I have to go up the natural wall and come at you that way. Alright, there we go. I'm coming for you, big man. Also, whoop! Let's throw Ogerpon right up front this time. Yeah, again, okay, so Kofu. So, I didn't want to commit to it, but Kofu is who taught the bug lady to bake. She name-dropped him, but I didn't want to commit to saying it was him because I didn't remember well enough. But, glad to see that confirmed here. Hey, yes, step right up. Welcome to the Kaskarafa Gym. Totally took me by surprise there. Okay. Volton Veluza. Look who it is. I was expecting someone else. The, top champion? Aha, I see Miss Gita put you up to this, did she? It feels just like yesterday that you were out collecting your badges, and now look at you. Already champion rank. Wait. That give him. Why did you do this to him? You're like one of those fish Pokemon that completely changes shape and name as it evolves. All full of life. What a great catch. Bad touch. And now this, our promising up-and-comer here to test my abilities himself. Don't worry, this old man's used to facing harsh reviewers. Part of the restaurant business. Alrighty then. You ready to battle this old man and see if he's still fit to be called gym leader? Yes. That's what I like to hear right this way. That face. Why would you do this to him? He's such a fun big man. He's the teddy bear. And he knows how to cook. A man after my own heart. And you give him that creep look. Why? Ever since you fought for that choice seaweed for me, all my dishes using it have been big hits. Thanks for that. Guess it's no surprise you did so well. That with being worthy of champion rank. Goodness gracious, but I do ever miss all kinds of people while doing this job. Did I misread that? I feel like I misread that. I've seen people like yourself who run full speed ahead like a raging river, and plenty of people who settle down like a calm lake. We older folk tend to prefer the latter, of course, but this old man himself finds that a bit dull. Rivers flow into the ocean. That water then climbs up the clouds and becomes rain. I am Kofu, the torrent, ever changing just like the water. Now, come see what I made of. See, if we had proper cutscene, that would be the moment where he slaps his belly and just gets ready. Like, he pumps himself up. He just seems like the kind of guy that would do that, you know? He looks high now. So that's why he wanted that seaweed. Good ingredients don't need to cover up spices. Something, 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 something. By the way, I disagree. Good ingredients eaten fresh can be their own enjoyment. But good ingredients with good spices is how you make a superb dish. Let's just get cracking here. He brings the fish out and we make fish paste. Nothing says feed my monkey brain like grab a club and beat everything into the ground. Nope, we are out here and we are just making a big pile of mushy, nasty paste food because really it's just adding insult to injury at this point. Wug Trio is still a weird one to me. Let's get extra smashy now. You know, nothing's gonna make me uncomfortable quite like a trio of dicks. Kind of just worming their way out of their little hole. At least Doug Trio had the wherewithal to say, look, at least the shafts are touching. They knew what they were about at that point. Really tenderizing that salty sea meat. Well, I did just beat his shafts multiple into the ground, so absolutely. Batten down the hatches and prepare for a storm. This is what makes something else that I couldn't read in time. Thank you very much, game. And we are just going to keep it going. A crabominable terrestrializing. I need to be able to read a little bit better. I also need to be able to stream a little bit more often. But now I'm taking pot shots at myself. I have literally just turned his entire team into a smear all across this area. You know that Pelipper you had? Its siblings are going to be eaten real well tonight. What a refreshing loss! My mind is as clear as still water! You really put the pressure on. Guess I should have expected no less from someone with La Primera's seal of approval. What a catch. The wildest currents, for better or worse, pull in everything around them and have really wild and drastic effects on their surroundings. That makes those friends of yours who stay by your side all the more important. Phew. Your youthful vigors got me motivated. Got my motivation. Don't tell me what's a rising tide for an old man. There are so many interpretations of what that could mean for an old person's body, and none of them are pleasant to think about. Next time you see Miss Gita, tell her that old man Kofu's flowing and crashing more than ever. Words you should not say while referring to yourself as an old man. Just all kinds of uncomfortable. Alright. Next up, we have my arch nemesis and most heated of villainous rivals. So let's throw the OG... No, you know what? Let's get right in there with a heavy hitter. There we go. Mr. Mass Murderer himself and the individual who has, I'm fairly certain, at least in the game side of it, probably has the highest body count out of anybody. Wait. Has there ever been a oops. Didn't mean to do that. Has there ever been a canonical horror in Pokemon? Because if we're getting loose with the definition of body count, I'm sure there are those that could be somewhat applicable. I don't remember where the building's at. Here's the building. Flowing and crashing. Look, I'm just, again, there's too much about the male body in general. It doesn't even have to be a guy. Just the body in general that makes that problematic phrasing. It's time for a meeting with... Oh. It's time for a meeting with the boss. But it seems I've got a visitor with no appointment instead. This is absolutely something she'd do. No. No, I understand everything, I assure you. Smile and say it. Oh, of course, it's no problem. La Primera is my boss, so I have to do as she says. But now she's ordering students around? I see, so you're helping the boss free up some time to enter a tournament at the academy. Well, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. I'd never let myself get roped in like that. I'm too clever. I have a tendency... Look at that! Look at that! No! I am not the crazy one! This man is closet evil! Well... let's knock this task off our list then. No use wasting time, shall we? I refuse to be gaslit by other people. This man is closet evil. He is that quiet, seething villain that just does... He is the sociopath in this world. I'm not the crazy one. Everybody else is. Ash would have a crazy body count, but he fumbled a bad pee every 2 weeks. And it's not even the people that just travel with him. Like, all the way back in Gen 1. He's got those opportunities, and you're right, he fumbles every single one of them. The Pokemon with the highest body count would probably be Yveltal, since it's basically a nuke with wings. Well, as far as the Pokemon go, yes. I was kind of talking about the people end of things. Wait. You know? Hear me out. Yveltal, the individual, or the entire species that is Ditto. Or with the invention of the internet, one Vaporeon and a group of R34 artists. Where do we draw the line on these? Let's head to the Treasure Eatery then. You already faced me during the Elite test, so I doubt this will leave much of an impression on you. In any case, let's get started, shall we? Are those some Yakuza members in the background? I'll be facing you. Like, those look like some leaders in some Yakuza bullshit. I'll be facing you in my role as a gym leader, so I'm going to use my regular team. They all belong to the normal type. Normal as in plain. Average. Unremarkable. Run-of-the-mill. Just like my cover story. I'm pretty fond of them, you know. They suit me perfectly. I'm about as ordinary as you get. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary with me. People, Pokemon, murder. There's no need to overcomplicate things. Nowadays, people only seem to want a shock factor. Something weird, something bizarre. At the end of the day, though, nothing beats the relief of coming home. Even after a fun vacation. When all's said and done, simplicity is strongest. Oh, that kind of body count. For once, I'm not the one with a dirty body. Look, that's why I was saying, has there ever been like a canonical whore in the Pokemon lore? Because things get a little questionable at that point. All right, let's just have a little bit of fun here. You know, he wants to talk about strength. We'll show him strength. I've got a rat that's just gonna put him in the ground here. You know what? I will accept the paralysis. It's going to slow us down, but let's see if we can't get another... There we are. Thing is, I'm expecting that they're going to continue going with that, so let's see if we can't get a little leech life going on. And then we'll heal the paralysis in between. Darn near topped off just like that. And then Rigid's just like, yo, fuck this paralysis. I'm ready to break necks. Love it. I have to not make political comments here. You know, we're just gonna drop a boulder on this one and move along. We had the wall strategy before, and now Rigid is just drill through everything. Take your life and fuck it up. I've got problems with Larry, and Rigid is helping me vent my frustration comfortably. I will have to leave you, as I basically can't sleep past 9 a.m. And we'll be out till probably early Wednesday morning. Yo, absolutely, man. Go have a hell of a good time. You know, tear through the day and, by all means, find a way to tear through some ass tonight, okay? Interpret that whichever way you need to. Hope everyone has a good stream, and thanks for the birthday wishes. Always, man, have a good one. Go enjoy yourself. Lysander tried to use the ultimate weapon to nuke Kalos and Team Flare. Straight up kills a bunch of Pokemon in an attempt to power it before deciding to use the legendary. Which Pokemon has the biggest chopper? Okay, I assume where you're going with this, and you're saying Slacking. And I'm going to go off of the assumption there of the gorilla-like approach. And one of the things that has been brought up to my attention around the time of the who would win 100 men or one gorilla argument is the realization that gorillas have incredibly small dicks. So I'm going to go on the assumption here and say that Slacking actually does not have a particularly massive schmeat. As far as who's going to have the largest there, it's going to be something that requires that girth to make do. And I'm not going to say that this is my go-to for like the committed answer all in, but assuming that they are breeding through those means, I'm going to say Wailord or, and hear me out, because of breeding pairs, in a really weird and twisted, fucked up manner, I will also say, especially considering body proportion, Skitty. Because egg groupings are fucked up. And now, there you go. Somewhere, I'm sure, on the internet exists a Skitty with a massive fucking dick. I would not be surprised. Oranguru is probably packing, though. Quite possibly, but I feel fairly confident if we're talking in terms of body proportion and the means in which it needs to be interesting take, Ian. Good night, everyone. Look, I'm not happy with the things I've said, but I'm fairly confident in the things I have said. Blindingly so and disappointingly so. You're just plain strong, aren't you? Something, something, something about me having not killed all of those people. You know, you can make the attack fall all you want, but realistically, we have done a fair bit of just beatdowns here. Time to show what we can really do. Same good work as always, please. Staraptor, isn't Staraptor also like very, very Giovanni-esque in a couple of ways? So like it's very bird of, all I'm saying is Staraptor is very bird of prey, and he's talking about the same good work as always. And you can cut that attack all you want, but Rigid is just too much muscle. A third serving of defeat, huh? Every single time. You're a bit too much for an average Joe like me to handle. But I think I understand now. Why I was told to use flying types when I battle as a member of the Elite Four, I mean. There's scenery you'll never... Look, I'm just saying, think about this from my perspective and my consideration of the hidden Larry that everybody else seems to think just doesn't exist. There's scenery you'll never even notice if you stick to flat, well-trodden paths. It'll do me good to admire talent that soars as high as yours from time to time. He has locked onto me as a target. Well, if the boss says I should do so, I'll do so. She won't catch me doing it for fun, though. In any case, I've been strictly told to cut down on my overtime hours, so I'll call it a day. He is absolutely going to be keeping tabs on me in the weird stalkerish sort of way that a psychopath would, picking their next victim. I stand by this claim. Larry is a monster, and I will not be told otherwise. Alright, where do we go next? Let's take a look at the other side. I think I've done a couple of these before. Yeah, I've done the grass. I've done the electric girl. Let's go right into the ice. You can tell that I am losing my brain power more and more as time goes on, because I almost referred to, is it a him? I can't remember. Is the ice one a him? I remember it being confusing to me and to many people. But I almost referred to ice as ass is where I was getting at with that. Which it far from is. Ice Pokemon are fucking awesome. Let's see, who are we going to throw at that? Richard! Put Richard up front and have him deal with the ice team. Grusha is indeed a dude. I still remember a lot of other people being confused just as much as I was. But I also remember a lot of people being confused about the Elite Four member whose name I can't remember, who is flat as a board, but I was fairly certain was female early on. But I think we even had somebody come into stream who tried to say no, they are not. But I was fairly confident. Also, assuming that Pokeball is pink there, they're also kind of rocking. Aren't those the trans colors there? You've got the blue, pink, and white. Just, gonna throw that out there too. You here to hit the slopes? I don't really recall the snow being too good today. I came to say hi. What? Oh, okay. Now I really don't understand what you're up to. Okay, so Geeta doesn't want to do her job. There you go. Oh, I see. So you're here to cover for Geeta. So your dream came true. You're a champion rank now. You must be so happy. Oh, my bad. That sounded a lot more sarcastic than I'd intended. Don't get me wrong. I really think it's amazing. Just, it's complicated for me. That's all. Anyway, you came to test my skills, right? Let's just get this over with. Is Grusha, everything good? Bro, you feeling all right? Hold on. Let's head outside. You'd best hope it's not snowing. Catch me in my element. Speaking of snowing, man, I could have made a return of the wall strategy. That could have been a thing I did. I still think that the idea for that team has potential. I don't necessarily know how committed I am to them specifically, but the idea had potential and was some fun ideas and some fun shenanigans there to be had. Well, tough luck for you. The snowy mountains are on my side today. These league-mandated inspections happen a few times a year. If we don't show we're up for the job, we'll lose our positions at gym leaders. Okay, real question. If you lose your position as a gym leader, who takes it over, and did they need to be required to the same typing, especially given the locale and the region? Also, clearly this is kind of set up to be very ice-oriented for an arena. If you lose your job and somebody else takes over, how much remodeling has to be done? Honestly, there's a lot of questions around some of that. And I think it would be rather cool one generation for them to explore it. Just hear me out. You play through in a scenario like this where you do have to go through and do a follow-up battle for the gym leaders. Or maybe it opens up and it becomes optional. Hear me out. One of the gym leaders is working alongside one of the villainous, whatever the villainous team is that comes into play in the story. Make them a real villain team again, right? None of this like Team Yell or whatever the fuck we had here where they were angry students or whatever. Mind you, they were pretty villainous too. They did kind of like rampage through a school with a vehicle and just kill a bunch of kids. But I'm talking like, you know, go back to like the Team Magma or like Team Rocket days, right? Give us a real villainous group. Have like one of the gym leaders be working with them on the inside and like make that somehow part of how they got so involved in what they do. During the big climax for the story event that comes out, they lose their position. You can find them hidden somewhere on the map for your follow-up matches, but there's an entire bit that you have to explore regarding somebody else coming in and taking their position. And, you know, maybe it's a change up in the typing and you got like a whole dynamic that plays into the situations changing, the gym area changing. Like, it's still set up in a very similar layout, but you get to see like the remodeling mid-progress. I think there would be some really cool ideas with that. But then that means when it comes to the follow-up matches, when you go and fight the gym leader again, you're fighting this new person. But that other gym leader that was shunned off and forced into hiding, you can find them somewhere else out there in like a secret hideout something, or just something cool like that. You can find them and you can rebattle them too. They're probably going to have some sort of like weird grudge on you or something. I think there's some fun you can do with that. Gita always says it's just a formality, but well, I've already had to give up on being a pro snowboarder. If she takes away the talents I still have to show, then what'll be left? Sorry, didn't mean to bring the temperature down. It's simple enough, really. All I need to do is make sure the power of my Pokemon chills you to the bone. Alright, gotta loosen up there, absolutely. Always did like Frostmoth. Conditions are alright, I guess. Good enough to defeat you anyways. And we're just gonna start crunching away. Get those fangs to work. We already had Arcanine eat through a bunch of bugs. Gyarados can do the job too. Alright, Beartic. Get a little waterboarding going on. He likes snowboarding. I like a little bit more torturous endeavors. I don't feel as confident on this, so we're going to terrestrialize and break through that wall. I like Team Skull because they stood on business. Too bad all the evil teams that came after are more or less Diet Team Skull, especially Team Yell. One of the things I liked about Team Skull was primarily the leadership elements of it. There was some fun dynamics with those characters. I do think the Team Skull, like, the grunt levels were kind of cringe, but the leadership side of it I did find to be a lot of fun. Also, it was such a shame that none of them ever challenged you to a rap battle. But, you know, coming in on that, we do have the ghost trainer of this one that made me be a very terrible white person when she kind of had her whole thing about that when she came out, and I couldn't keep up because I'm terrible at that stuff. Ashamedly so. I won't let things heat up any further. time to bring the deep freeze. Alright, you're gonna rock like the sheer cold strategy? Alright, you're gonna terastallize into an ice type. I kinda want to hit you with the bulldoze, but I'm just gonna go for the crunch strat. Let it freeze, let it snow, let it pile up on top of us. I feel like there was a good opportunity for a rhyme there. Also, I can't remember offhand, and I know, Rigid, you're big into the music, so let me know if I'm horribly missing the mark because I'm just going off of the feeling I remember having. Could have hit me with a hurricane and Richard just dodges it. Anyways, let me know how off the mark I am. Again, I'm just going off of what I recall feeling in the moment. But didn't Team Skull have some pretty good battle music? And again, I might even be thinking of like some leadership things, but I recall that there was like some music tied to them that I didn't exactly hate. Your burning passion. I kind of like it, to be honest. Also, it's not that hard to consider because Pokemon does have a lot of good music. Man, Gita must really have it out for me. Sending someone there's no way I could beat? Still, no regrets on my part. I gave it everything I had. I hit you full force, and I lost anyway. It made me feel frustrated. It makes me want to become stronger as a gym leader, put more of myself into it. I'd thought my passion had frozen over, but you've rekindled it for me. Thanks, Ian. I won't lose next time. You'll see. Try not to catch a cold on your way down the mountain. No worries, I'm not going to climb down the mountain. I am going to hop on my bird and I'm going to fly my way off. Still gonna say it, you know, those female mountain trainers that we have in there. Still do something for me. Just saying. No, hey, no, no. There we go. Fly here. I will say, for whatever reason, since we were on the topic of Team Skull, for whatever reason, I was never as much of a hater of the Sun and Moon arc as a lot of other people were. There was a lot about it that I did really like, and the big thing about it that I didn't like is the same major complaint I have with the Black and White era, and that was just that the sequel came too quick. You went from one right into the other, and it was completely unnecessary to do that. You really should have had some buffer time in between. Even if it was just like more side games, again, of the time I would have said something like, you know, more Pokemon Snap, which by the way, I still loved the Pokemon Snap that we got, and I would desperately want more because I do genuinely like that game, and it is one that I keep out still that I go to fairly regularly. Well, if it isn't my little challenger, Ian. What brings him back here, baby? Finally ready for that rap battle? God, you would kick my ass so hard. I'm here for the gym inspection. Hold on, you're telling me La Primera sent you to check out my gym. So instead of her, I get you. She sent a rookie champion instead of coming out here herself. Doesn't she know who I am? Yeah? Sorry, got heated there. Don't worry though, you aren't the one who struck that nerve. Oh well, I was just thinking I'd like to see you again anyways. Guess this is just how fate has it. If we're doing this, let's do it. Ready to show me how strong all those adventures made you? You know, I kind of gotta say, I respect the idea. Okay, I will read that in just a minute. I respect the idea that she actually threw a shit fit over it. Over Gita just pawning off the job. It was different. I actually kind of hate Guzma's battle theme because it just glitch noises. I know it's supposed to sound buggy because he trains bug types. Still doesn't sound good. Look, you know, fair enough. But again, I will fall back on the idea of a lot of people hated, for whatever reason, the Sun and Moon era. And I actually think we got a lot of really good out of it. I will say the Z moves were kind of meh. The anime was kind of eh. It was kind of cool getting to see like Brock and Misty come back. There were some really good moments in it as far as the anime goes. But again, like the game as it stands was rather enjoyable. Lusamine being an absolute psychopath was fucking awesome, actually. As far as the villain goes. And that she just, like, when it came down to it, she wore that shit on her sleeve. I just think there was a lot of good there. And I think the big complaint is just the same thing that I would say with the Black and White era. That, you know, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon came out too fast, following right behind, and therefore it lost any freshness, and the added stuff that they gave just was bogged down by too much of the same. And that's exactly how I felt with the Black 2, White 2. I actually think Black 2, White 2 is, same thing with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the better game, but because I played through it as they came out, it just lost it for me. Now that's the spirit. Come on, let's put on a killer show. Now, Scarlet and Violet had some absolute banger soundtracks. It feels like just yesterday that you were here for our gym test. Now you're all championed up and out doing errands for La Primera herself. Tell you something, you get to be my age, time starts passing you by fast. But that sentimental style's not worth my while. Time to kick a rhyme and hit the flow, let's go! My spirit's burning, yearning to get this battle churning. You best be ready to begin. Our little champion is coming into his own. Come on, baby, rattle me down to the bone. I will also say, the first time I saw her hairdo, it really, like, was a little goofy to me. I will say, for whatever reason, maybe it's because I'm coming back at it with fresh eyes and I'm not as taken aback by the first viewing of it. I kind of vibe with it a lot more. The skeleton arm. Alright, clearly I've got the wrong team dynamic out here, though, but we can correct this in just a moment. For now, let's deal with a little damage dealing here. Yeah, we'll do the Fire Fang on Mimikyu. I should try to see how valid the old Mimikyu team I had idea. I should try to see how valid it is and see if I can't bring that back. There was a lot of fun with that one. And I know, Rigid, you do a lot of the more competitive side of things, so I suppose if I ever wanted to see about getting back into that and doing some damage on that, I could always run it by you and see how things roll out with that. Alright, there we go. I gotta swap into the power duo. Two very different typings, but they're gonna work together so good. They are both just physical behemoths. Alright, we're going to go back to the crunch. I don't know if... No, I don't think that works too well on Spiritomb. Let's go with the stab bonus on that. And while we're at it, we'll just kind of rock slide them both. Make sure we do a nice heavy bit of damage there. Alright, that was good enough, I guess. I wonder if Rigid is going to hit level 100 before the end of this. You know, Rigid can take the bulldoze. I'm confident in that. Watch me eat those words so hard. This ghostly change will turn your highs to lows, the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows. I'm sure that's how that was trying to rhyme, and it just did not work too well. Alright, get all spooky spirity. There you go. It literally meant nothing to Rigid to eat that. Always sad to see a Mimikyu go down. Alright, Rhyme, what you got for me? You're cool, my friend. You move my soul. Allergy season sucks. I wasn't expecting you to rattle me that much. You caught me off guard just like Shadow Sneak. Sorry for calling you a rookie. Hope we're good. I just wanted to prove the strength of ghost types to Gita, but I guess I got carried away. No, wait, hold up. Ghost types have a long history of, after the correction from the mistake of the type advantage system going a little wonky back in Gen 1, they have a long history of busting ass and taking names. You're the real deal, my friend. I can guarantee that. From here on out, Rhyme's got your back. If you run into any Vexen trainers or Hex inspectors, you just give me a call. Now you go enjoy this big wide world to the fullest, you hear me? Later, baby. It's rather heartwarming how more just, you know, I guess just more real she feels. Ro-to-to-to-to. Hello. Am I speaking to Champion Ian? Oh, this is Gita. How's your inspection on the gyms going? How'd you get my number? I'm the head of the organization. I have the addresses and contact information of every champion-ranked trainer. I was informed by each of the gym leaders that you stopped by to see them. I knew giving you this task was the right decision, Champion Ian. All of them seemed quite happy for the opportunity to battle you. Now, I would like the inspection report from you in person. Join me at the academy in the entrance hall. I'll be waiting for you there. Coming, Gita. Just gotta go do my chores now. Bite a ghost and it's super effective. Make the most of it and be sure and be sure they're rejected. You the man, the one and only, the respected. That was my attempt at a rap. And I butchered it just as bad as I did all of hers, because Rap and me, we are not in sync. Clearly, I'm far more of a boy band type. Alright, before we go see Gita, I've got to, or I don't have to, I want to top off. And we're going to swap the team order up a little bit. The name isn't Gyarados. It's quite literally on the Pokeball. I have it etched in. It's Richard. All right, we are going to change this up, and Lupin, the OG, the originator, is going to go up front because I'm just assuming Geeta is going to want to throw down. Because that is just the way the Pokemon games work. Do thing, fight person, win, be happy. And that's basically the Pokemon formula. It comes back to just be happy. It is very hard to not be happy playing a Pokemon game, even with a lot of the modern sapping of energy and general drop down that they've done with a lot of things. Ash, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. It has been a good while, man. By the way, still got you rocking in the team lineup. Putting in work already this stream. All right, Geeta, what do you want? Oh, that's right, the report. Everyone's doing fine. Larry's a murderer. Fire him, please. Good day, Championian. Now, tell me, what do you think of our entrance hall? Do you enjoy being surrounded by books? First of all, fuck yes. No, I love it. That's good to hear. It was renovated a few years ago, and I was the one who came up with the new design. Look, as someone who wishes desperately to have the opportunity to spend more time just reading, because I'm just so goddamn busy in my real world life, the idea of okay, I have a fair bit of books. I own a lot of books. I think I even went through and counted them at one point on the Discord for whatever reason I don't remember. But one of the things that to this day I still love, and I have a couple of books like this, being able to grab an old actual leather-bound book is just something. There's something special about grabbing them, the smell of them, the texture, the feel of them in your hands. That is a hard feeling to replicate on anything. I'm on summer break. I'll be a junior this year. Hell yeah. That means you're actually getting pretty close to the big graduation, which is gonna be hella fun, I hope. Okay, so years ago I was one. But more importantly, I would like very much to hear your report on the gym leaders. And now that I think about it, this location is perhaps a little too public. Do you know of anywhere quiet where we might be able to just... Take her back to my room! Take her back to my room! Make things more weirdly complicated! Please, give me that opportunity! Yes! I was joking! We have now expanded the lore. We have brought the head champion back to our bedroom. And you know I'm going to tell that story to everybody in this world. So this is the dorm room where you live. I wonder, is this room what helped nurture your potential as a champion? Geeta, you have at this point probably seen as much of this room as I have. This room had nothing to do with me being a champion, but it can have something to do with the after story. Oh, wait, I remember now. You only recently moved into the dormitories. Not only that, I don't think I've been in here more than a half dozen times. In the near future, perhaps, I'll pay your family's home a visit, if I may. And she wants to go meet my family! Look, I'm just saying! The player character here, they get opportunities. Anyways, let us get to the topic at hand. I would very much like to hear your report now that you've inspected the gym leaders. Tell me, which gym leader did you feel was the easiest to face in battle? Larry, I see. Next, which gym leader left the strongest impression on you? You know, out of the ones I went through and fought through the second time, I'm gonna give it to Rhyme. Of course you'd say Rhyme. Then, which gym leader gave you the most trouble during battle? Which one was Katie? I don't even remember. I'm gonna go with Iono. I still think Iono gives me a little look. The paralysis effect is one that is annoying to me, and I'm gonna give her that. Oh, Iono. Next is the last, most important question. Which gym leader did you like the most? Real curveball if I answer Larry. I'm going to continue to go with Iono. Those are all the questions I have. Thank you very much for your help. Look, as cringy as it is that she does the streamer thing, I also just find it weirdly endearing too. Your perspective was fascinating, Champion Ian. I have no doubt it will assist me when running the organization. Please, accept this as thanks. Okay. Wait, I think there's some use for that. I forgot that's what the King's Rock does. I'm fairly used to... Isn't that what you use to make Slowbro into Slow King? That's kind of my remembering of it. Thanks to you, my schedule has cleared up quite significantly. So I will most definitely be joining the tournament we discussed in the director's office. I'm sure Champion Nimona will be pleased too. Please, I need my battle-hungry friend again. Well, thanks for letting me visit. I should get back to work now. You must be tired. I suggest you take it easy for the rest of the day. You know, it is also weird about the dynamic I put upon people in the lore building for my exploration in Pokemon Scarlet. The framing of how my character's involvement with whichever characters do happen to end up seeing his room. Just gonna add that to it. I mean, Ian always rolls a high number on charisma. Just realized the Scarlet Violet protagonist canon name contains your name. Hold on, what is the... Oh, Florian. Is that the canonical name? 1 week later. Thanks to Nimona's pushing and a bit of cooperation from the Pokemon League, the day finally arrived for the great Pokemon battle competition to be held. Okay. Babe! Hey, Ian! I'm so glad we just managed to get everything ready for the Academy Ace tournament. Oh yeah, that's what we decided to officially name the tournament. It's a good name, right? Fitting, memorable. I don't know if it's memorable, but it's fitting. But then Arvin went and said we should call it the school First of all, Arvin is right. The School Battle Brawl is just a better name. I'm sorry. And then even Director Clavel got involved, got into calling it that. So now I'm just like, ugh. Anyways, how you feeling? In the mindset to do some winning? Nimona, I am in the mindset to do a great many things. And, at least in context to the lore of the story I'm building, I feel like they're on the same wavelength here. There's that enthusiasm. Show us what a champion's made of. It's so cool that La Primera is going to make a guest appearance thanks to your hard work. I wish I didn't have my hands full with all the behind... No! No, you're not competing! Robbed! We have been robbed. But I'll seize the chance to do some objective research into what makes you so good. Anyways, let's get going. I'll meet you at the front desk in the entrance hall. No stalling. I am so disappointed in that. Yes, the girl is Juliana and the boy and the boy is Florian. So I'm just going to say Ian is in both of their names. So I'm going with that. By the way, this tournament still isn't all of it. There's like 2 more hours worth of stories. Whoo! All right. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do the tournament here because I'm fairly certain I have plenty enough time to do the tournament. But we'll probably do the extra 2 hours worth of story, which is kind of dope, in the next stream. But I am not going to call it here. We are definitely going to get the tournament underway. Still disappointed that Nemona's not going to be in the battle, though. That just feels like wrong in an almost disgusting kind of way. There you are, Ian. You've got to go through the application process with a staffer before you can actually participate in the tournament, just like everybody else. I know this whole thing was thrown together with you in mind, but rules are rules. Ready for that explanation now, mister? Alright, the rules of the Academy Ace Tournament are as follows. Any student or faculty member of the Academy may enter. Your opponents will be random, and only winners will advance to the next round. Opponents will be matched by lottery, and the lottery is run by the people in charge. That means you'll have no idea who you'll be facing until you meet them in the battle. Winners, as I said, will get to advance to the next round, but lose once and you're knocked out. No more battles for you after that. The last trainer standing, the only person to win all of their matches, will be deemed the best of all the Academy's ace. Best of all the Academy's ace. My bad on the reading there. Thanks very much. We hashed out the tournament rules with the help from Director Clavel. Based on the number of entrants so far, you'd probably have to win 4 times to take it all. Don't forget, you might go against the faculty too. They're tough stuff, so good luck and go be even tougher. Okay, but is Clive competing? I need to know, is my buddy going to be here? The only person allowed to beat you is me. Please talk to me when you're ready to take part. You know, I am just hopping in. Just jump in feet first. Yep, let's get it going. You get to battle the teachers now. Yes, every student's dream. Go in and swing fists with the teachers. I mean, under certain context, I suppose there are some situations where some students would rather be swinging other things, but that gets a little icky and a little too real-worldy, so let's not go down that avenue any more than what I just did. Alright, you're all registered as a contestant. Please head down for the battle count. Court. To the battle court. I'll be honest, there are certainly a couple of teachers back in my high school days that I wish I could have thrown hands with. Excellent. It seems everyone is here. Clavel? Where's Clive? He's not. We're missing. So I feel like he should be here. He's kind of important. Some of you will have certainly heard the happy news. We have a new champion here at Naranja Academy. Yes, none other than our very own Master Ian. Should have named my character Bader. Ha! For real? That's amazing! Not even gonna try. Woo! Way to go, champ! It gives me great joy to see one of our students achieve this feat during their time at the Academy. Today's tournament was organized by the Student Council President, Miss Nemona, in celebration of her friend's accomplishment. I invite all of you here to see for yourselves the impressive strength of our new champion. Not to mention the talents of those students claiming the spotlight for the first time today. And of course, the superb battle prowess and acumen of our esteemed faculty. who is the guy with the suit and why don't I remember him? Because I feel like I'd remember that guy. I kind of like his vibe. Also, not gonna lie, the guy with the ponytail, kind of vibing with the muscles man. Now, without further ado, let the Academy Ace Tournament, our school battle brawl, begin! Alright, let's jump right into the first round, everyone. Who will the fates pair up today? Champion Ian will be facing Arvin from Class 2G. Just learned that adorable Tom and Jerry anime I once shared to the Discord is going to be posted on the Warner Brothers Kids YouTube channel. Hell yeah. Hopefully that includes the remaining episodes too. I am going to have to check that out. I do remember you mentioning that, and I still don't know enough about it. So I'm excited for that. You've got to be kidding me. Up against my little champion buddy right from the first round? So, how about it, Ian? Bet you're surprised to see me in this tournament, right? Not at all, and it's about damn time. Wait, you actually thought I would sign up for the thing? Boy, I guess you really do get me. No wonder we're best buds. See, when we went down to the Area Zero, it really drove home for me how I need to get stronger. You know, being that I'm on my own now. So I've been doing some special super serious training with Mabastiff and my team. If we ever end up in trouble again, I want to be there fighting beside you, on the same level. So today, I'm here to win, even if it might only be by the stroke of luck. Get a taste of this. Arvin's here with some spicy new flavor for you. You know, look at his posture though. Like, the man is really like chest pumped. He kind of knows what he's about now. And again, I kind of respect that energy and that character development that we got from him. Also, that guess that makes it obvious. I just got back from the store a bit ago. Yep. Hopefully things went well. Hopefully whatever you got was not absurdly pricey, because my god, prices just still suck ass. Oh, we are leading right in with one of my most hated squirrels, though. I want you and me to be on the same level, so I'm going after this win without... Again, I can't read fast enough. All right, let's hone those claws. Let's see what you got. What are you rocking with the little squirrel guy here? All right, you're gonna paralyze me again. And Lupin just walks it off. I never noticed. I want to see that animation again, because there's something about it that I just noticed for the first time. And I'm going to keep you in there even to fight Scovillian. Scovillain? The hot pepper boy. Although clearly it would be a dumb idea to rock the flower trick, we're going to Shadow Claw this, but I want to see the flower trick. There's something about it that I didn't notice before, and it reminded me of what's the anime? The Gon, Kurapika, Killua, Hunter x Hunter. It reminded me of Killua doing the like assassin step or whatever they called it. And he has that like little after image. I never noticed the after image before. That is actually a thing with how it kind of does the spotlighting. You get a little bit of after image effect with it. And it's kind of stylized. I didn't notice that before. And I kind of like it. All right, we're going to send my salad boy up against the saltiest of Pokemon, which is disappointing for me, because if you don't know, I really have a weird love obsession with Garganacl. My brother's energy drinks were $3. Oh, 3 for $9. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, but they're usually 3 for $7. Yeah, I know the energy drinks I get can go as high in price as to be like $3.50. And then of course I won't beat around the bush. My girlfriend has a thing for the Red Bulls, and my fucking god, are Red Bulls stupidly expensive. I hate buying them because it just feels like I'm lighting money on fire. You get a small tiny can and they're like $5 goddamn. He also needed $75 in PlayStation cards to get the Binding of Isaac on the only system he doesn't own it on. Is it really $75 now? The Binding of Isaac? Isn't that like... I thought that was an indie game that was fairly like low priced. I think for some reason in my head, I'm thinking like $45 for that game. Or is there like a bunch of DLC that he has to get for it too? I have actually not played The Binding of Isaac, but it's because the context there of a lot of the... there's a lot to it that just kind of rubs me the wrong way on a creative, artistic level, and it is just a me thing. I am not throwing any shade at the game. It does what it does very damn well. Okay, I think it was with some DLC. That makes a lot more sense. Arvin... Arvin proceeding to flash his clam. I'm just saying, a lot of what he's been doing is food-based. And I will say, as a man of culture, there is something to be said about eating the clam. Yeah. Just gonna leave that one there and move on because the cloister is done. Alright, now we know that he's gonna be rocking in with Mabastiff, and it just seems appropriate to, in a game as contextually on the nose as Pokemon is, to end our fight with Arvin in a quite literal dogfight. I'm putting everything I got into this. No regrets allowed, no leftovers in this meal. Literally a dogfight. You know what? Just eat that, PETA. Have your fun. Alright, I don't know if he's going to terrestrialize, and if he does, what he's going to terrestrialize into. So I'm going to err on the side of hopefully maybe getting a paralysis effect in on there. Let's light up this school battle brawl, Mabastiff. Brighter than anybody. Kind of looks like he struggles with the terrestrializing there. And he commits to the dark type just like I do, you know? Arvin, I'm just going to put it out there. A lot of respect on that name right now. So we're going to terrestrialize just for the fun of it, because obviously I'm not going to get the crunch factor, but it just seems like the way to go to end this off here. Hey Peter, you want to hit the clam? Nah, she seems pissed. Let's just go to the bar. Yep, Family Guy. Time to Michael Vick the heck out of him. Isn't that... Okay, I might be getting some stories cross-referenced here. Isn't that I think it was a football player who got outed for doing, dogfights? Alright, now that we know that the Thunder Fang is taking full effect, let's just, get a little spicy with him. I think it was a football player. I could look it up and not look like an idiot, but I'd rather showcase the fact that I don't know everything. That's my excuse for being lazy. I had to Bing search Michael Vick, reading his name. Looks like that's what he was. All right, woo! I actually know a sports reference. I would self high five over that, but this also means that the only bit of sports reference that I actually have under my belt for memory involves, animals beating the hell out of each other, and I'd rather not self-high-five over that even if my context is for being right. Yes, he was the dog-fighting NFL player. You're so strong and cool. I'm real proud to call you my best friend, Wouldn't be the first time I've heard that, but thank you. Obviously, I was going to walk away the winner. Woo! All right, the professor's kid put up a heck of a fight. What a spite. Take a moment, silent prayer for, oh, man. What was her name? This one I am going to look up because I feel dumb and I don't like this. Sada. Okay, yeah. You'd think that would be the one out of all the characters I'd remember by name. You'd think I'd remember Mommy Sada, but apparently my brain just do what it do. The strength of a champion is legit. It hurts to lose, but I'm proud of you, buddy. Do not call me little buddy. I'm not even going to read your dialogue that way. Maybe I should think about going to all those gyms myself sometime. Wow. You'd better try just as hard as I would have in round 2 for me. Wait, there's more people who just play sports other than Michael Jordan? Sports isn't just a thing from Space Jam. Oh, man. Legitimately, if somebody took, the pop culture approach and shipped off, sports understanding into outer space, I don't think people would be, an alien race that comes across that would not be remiss to think that we actually have superpowered sports athletes and that's why they're a big fucking deal. By the way, Michael Jordan's still probably the best guy to ever play the game. My opinion, and I'm willing to be super wrong about it, but that's my opinion. Next, and I mean that from the multicultural aspect, bringing in more people to see the game, being as good as he was, his championship records, but also his ability to play the game on a metaphysical level as well as the actual playing of the sport. Next up is the second round. I'm sure you're ready to hear the matchup, so let's get to it. Champion Ian will be facing Jacques, the biology teacher. Hello. Isn't he my homeroom teacher? I hear you went out on your treasure hunt and wound up becoming a champion. That's quite the achievement. I guess I'm the homeroom teacher for 2 champion rank students now. I won't lie, I'm feeling a wee bit of pressure here. I've got to work hard so my students don't outshine me too much, huh? Well then, let's get started, shall we? Here's hoping I do. Okay. He just underhand tosses it. No, you can't make me fight the good boy right out of the gate. You monster. Show me what you've got in your own way, at your own pace. You evil man. Gonna make me put the dog down. All right, Rich. I know you like dogs just as much as I do, but it's got to be done. This really feels like, again, I'm not being literal, but the power difference, the type difference, everything going on here, add to it the terastallizing for the effect here. It really feels like I'm handing Richard like an old shotgun and telling him to take the dog out behind the shed. Too bad Michael Jordan's son is only known for being pulled over in Florida driving a little crazy. Way to carry on the legacy. I mean, you do also have the actor Michael Jordan. Some people seem to really like him. At least that's a namesake tie-in. Alright, Richard, you're staying in here. He made you put the dog down, so deal with him the same way. Put the teacher in the dirt. There is a weird amount of bug eating this episode. Also, Mudsdale. I believe that's a Sun and Moon era Pokemon. And I will say, once again, one I have a weird actual, like, super like for. Oh, I could have done the, you know, I guess we're just eating a little bit of everything here. Alright, rock in with the Earthquake, do your damage. I should have hit you with the Waterfall from the beginning. That was my bad, but, you know, a little self-correction. I wonder how many people associate the actor Mike Myers with the horror movie serial killer. When talking about the names, I would say I do, even though I clearly know the difference. But it is like a situation where I can't hear him come up and not think about the horror movie. All right, Slowbro. Again, we're doing more whining and dining today. Ha! Swalot. All right, slap him with the Waterfall. You're not going to have Gulpin and Swalot and not have something giggle about their names with me. I'm sorry. Wow, you sure are strong. Is there some secret in the way you raise your Pokemon? Steroids. You know, it's all about the push-ups, the sit-ups, the juice, and the juice. Just a little energy, and there you have it. Now watch as my Pokemon terrestrializes. Watch me put a hat on my hooded Pokemon. I guess you just like buff absolute units of Pokemon that look like they'd flip the gym. Didn't you also say that you really like Rhyperior? So of the evolution stages that we got out of those, you've got, is it Electivire, Magmortar, and Rhyperior? Rhyperior is, like, easily my favorite of the unit, so yes. You know, I hadn't really thought of it like that, but it's quite possible that that's... I've got the two sides of it. I like the absolute, you know, unit Pokemon. Again, like, Nidoking is an old favorite of mine. But then on the other side, I also just like the cute, fluffy, adorable. So I'm the kind of situation where you'll see me in a hypothetical. I'd rock up with a Nidoking and an Eevee just because that's how it works. Ha, you beat me. You're quite the strong trainer, aren't you, Ian? You're more fit for the teaching profession than I am with the boundless confidence of yours. Again! Always live with all that confidence. Mr. Jacques, did I hear you correctly just now? Are you angry with me? Well, I'm gonna go get yelled at. Good luck in the coming battles. He just walks over and puts his head down in shame. Finally, only 4 trainers remain. Time for our contestants to face their third matches. Everyone, one moment, guys. Sorry about that. The matchup for this battle will be Champion Ian versus... Yo, hold on. Isn't she the one who was all about, like, the martial arts and like a little bit of the yoga stuff or something? Hell yeah. Dendra, the battle studies teacher. Also, new kid. This school battle brawl is for deciding the strongest trainers in the academy, right? Man, I am so pumped. There's no better place for me to show off my strengths, and I hear you're the reason we're having this tournament. You have my thanks for that. New kid, no. Champion Ian. As a teacher, I feel like it's my duty to lead my students to success. But since I am the battle studies teacher here, I can't very well lose in a battle, can I? So don't expect me to go easy on you. I'm giving it all I got. That kid over there losing his shit in the background. That'd be me right now. Nidoking is actually supposed to be really short, funnily enough. What is its canonical height? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. I mean, it's 4'7". You know we stand for the short kings here, and that includes Nidoking. Nothing wrong with that. Especially because Nidoking looks like he could pick up a small truck and throw it a mile away. Let's have a good clean battle, okay? Best of luck. Yo, hold up. Okay, you know, that was kind of... Yeah, I'll give it to you on that. Alright, so let's swap it in. We're going to throw the rat at him. Got it. So we don't call Nidoking the M word. Muscular. Even though that's what he is. No, I'm still going to call him muscular. Nidoking gives me that weird, you know, he gives the king energy. Let's go crazy with the earthquake now. Also, that does, you know, kind of just make me feel like a little bit more of a dominating force. Now that I think about Nidoking being 4'7", God, that's good. You know, that, again, walking up with Nidoking, myself, and then the Eevee just sitting on my shoulder, and I'm giving all the little cute, adorable head pats. Just feels thematically appropriate, I think. So wait, now I've got to know, because Pokemon sizes are so weird. All that said, and Rhyperior is a hulking 7'10". Hell yeah. Also, again, to continue on the rampaging beast of Pokemon I like, I said it very early on. I am also a long-time Tauros fan. I like Tauros a little bit more than, I think it was Bouffalant or whatever the name was. Tauros just can't be beat. And I'm going to keep my rat in there, tearing it apart. Shred him to pieces. Alright, the Intimidate might be a factor here, but we're going to Terastallize and hit it with the Earthquake. Skitty can breed with Wailord for some reason. I'll let you live with that knowledge. Richard, you missed my comment earlier when we were fighting, who was it? Was it Larry? I think we were fighting Larry and somebody made reference to the size of Slack King's junk and the idea that he's just got to have a big, massive schmeat. And I went in there and said, you know, given what we know about gorillas, probably not. But... and this was my statement, I don't necessarily know if Skitty has the biggest dick, but the fact that Skitty can breed with Wailords implies to me that the Skitty to cock ratio is fucking massive and is rather impressive on that front. We got Tauros and Tauros. Is it going to be the water type one now? I will say I do like the fire one a little bit more, but like, gotta give it to him. I like having variety. Gardevoir can breed with Drifloon, I'm pretty sure. Gardevoir can breed with damn near anything. The internet has told me as such. Right up there with Lucario. You know, egg type doesn't matter. They can breed with anything. Alright, let's swap it up. Let's see if we can't throw... You know, I'm kind of feeling Ogerpon. I didn't even read what they're sending in. This might be a terrible choice, but I'm going in with Ogerpon. I want to smash. And I want to smash in a few ways. And I guess smashing in that way is not going to work too well, so we're going to smash in the other way. Because they gave me the opportunity. You've got real fight in you, new kid. This battle's really stoked I assume that said fighting spirit. Ogerpon is getting around town right now, it seems. I can't imagine she's not going to terrestrialize into a fighting type as well. Yeah, big uppercut fist for a hat. Rising uppercut. And we're still going to get all kinds of cuddly. Alright, you know. Fair enough. Give it your all. That'll make the taste of victory that much sweeter. And the close combat. We tried to get cuddly with someone who really wants to throw hands. That's okay. We can play the power dynamic. With a critical hit, no less. Lucario is the Pokemon with the most R34 entries because furries just love the bags of money to commission them. Look, I'm not gonna fault them. People are gonna pay and they're gonna take it and they're gonna put. Let's be real. Like it or not, furry artists put out quality content. Oddly enough, thanks to a certain copy pasta, there's a lot of Mudkip R34 as well. What is the Mudkip copy pasta, and why does that surprise me and not Rigid? Mudkip of all things is shocking to me. I mean, the only one I know of is I hear you like Mudkips, but I never would have thought that would have gone into the R34 territory. This is not where my brain went for that. I see you've honed your skills, new kid. Us. Of course I was going to be the winner. That's not going to happen any other way. No way. I got crushed. But I still got something great out of this battle. This was a massive chance for me to grow. You may be surprised to hear this, but we adults are still learning every day too. God damn, that's true. That's why we're always harping on you kids to study. Turns out we actually do know what we're talking about. Thanks for the battle. Keep aiming for the top in this tournament, and don't forget, Os! 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 Kind of felt the effect of losing my voice with that last one. That's the one. I heard you like Mudkips. Yeah, again, my brain just does not say, oh, hey, that leads to Rule 34. Especially because, again, that is such an old meme, and to my knowledge, around the time that was relatively well popular and spread around, there really just wasn't just an insurmountable amount of other pornographic material for the characters of that generation and on. There's one last match in this tournament, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce the two trainers who will be facing off to finally determine who's strongest at the Academy. By the way, one of our strongest Academy members just wasn't in this competition, so how much validity can we really put on any of this? Anyways, we have Ian up against a special guest joining our tournament, the top champion, Geeta. A good day, Ian. I had a feeling we would meet in the finals. Honed strength against honed strength. Such a clash is what captures the crowd and makes their hearts race. This is extremely close to what I would call my ideal world. As the chairperson for both the Pokemon League and the Academy, I find this situation to be incredibly satisfying. Now, if we both push each other to greater heights, we will achieve greater synergy. Well, you can see where my synergy is at, and it is not on the same wavelength because I can't even read your lines well. Oh my god, my voice is starting to go though. Come, Champion Ian, our battle will inspire all those who watch us today. Let me show you the full might of the top champion. I do gotta say, I do like a little bit of the swagger she rocks, though. Let us set an example for everyone. You and I. I believe we are setting an example on multiple fronts. Most of the Academy by now already knows that you did have a personal one-on-one moment with me in my room, so look, people are gonna talk. It's a reality of what goes on. That was enough to inspire. Nope, calm down, Rigid. Internet's gonna internet, and here I am already having said it, so yeah. Alright, going right into the go-go. Alright, Ash, get out here. Put some blood on those fangs. Look, if I'm going up against Geeta in the final bit here, I am going to just take the massive powerhouse that I've built up, and we're going to fully abuse it. Alright, I believe fire is still good here against Avalugg, so even though it's physically defensive, I'm going to take this and run with the Fire Fang. I kind of figured as much. But the flinch, can't do shit. Geeta is the champion by default because something politics. You know, that is kind of funny. You know, there are two characters, one of which isn't even in the tournament, both of which have canonically beaten her from what I understand, and still she's got to take the title of top champion. She's basically the president of Paldea when you think about it. Yeah, kinda. Alright, I don't remember who King Gambit is. King Gambit. So, off of my lack of knowledge and understanding and my own ignorance, I'm going to return to the Old Faithful. Oh shit, yeah, I completely forget about that. This is the Samurai Beetle. This was not a good choice. I would have been better off sticking with Ash. Okay, I'm gonna swap over to Richard and we are just gonna stomp through this guy. just because I feel like Richard has the capacity to take whatever she's going to throw at him. Consistently, every single time, Richard has shown time and again that even in the Nuzlockes, he will come through and big balls every time he needs to. As I said, he will come through and big balls every time he needs to. Alright, let's see where we're going. Veluza. Okay, I think this is that poison one. And poison typing is one that I don't remember too well. I'm gonna swap into Rigid Rat and we're gonna run with that. For some reason, I seem to think this isn't a terrible choice. But I'm also not overly confident as to which Pokemon this is. No, it's the fish. And I was wrong, but it's the psychic fish, so maybe we've still got some work in here with the leech life. There we go. I know, like, one of her big ones is the poison flower, and clearly I need to better familiarize myself with the new Pokemon. We'll make this match a fitting one for the finale, a grand spectacle. Alright, there's the flower. And Rigid is going to go all in on that Earthquake. Is the evolved form of Bisharp. The method to evolve a Bisharp into this is as weird and obscure as it gets. Not quite Reneragus levels. Alright, what is the necessary range to evolve into Bisharp then? Or to evolve Bisharp into King Gambit? It just gives me, like, weird Beetle vibes. So, honestly, I think Earthquake was still ready to put in the work. Oh, no! You've shed some weird poison debris. Rigid just literally, like, pile-drived you into the dirt. Super Saiyan style. The future of Paldea is bright indeed. So do I get the title of top champion now, or are you going to continue to hog that? Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, the victor of this tournament! And thus, the strongest trainer in the whole academy is Champion Ian! Congratulations, yeah. It feels weird saying my own name for that. Let's get like a Ric Flair woo going in on that one. You did it! You did it! Alright, and everybody's everyone chanting it up. That is a nice shot, though. Nice imagery to end the tournament on. I would like to extend my thanks to everyone who made this extraordinary tournament possible. Each and every trainer demonstrated beautifully the bond they share with their Pokemon. I couldn't take my eyes off of any of the matches. Taking lessons from tradition, growing stronger and greater. That is the motto at Naranja Academy, and the tournament truly lived up to our ideals. Now, I'm aware my speeches tend to get a little, shall we say, overlong, so I'll wrap it up there. I now turn the floor over to our special guest, Chairwoman Geeta. The friendly rivalry of trainers, the cheering and encouragement from the crowd. I feel like these are the perfect ingredients for the Academy. No, for the whole Paldea region to become more lively and energized. Champion Ian was far stronger today than when he took on the Pokemon League's final test. It is clear that he strives to become better every day, even after reaching such an esteemed rank. It is my sincere hope that all Paldea's people will be inspired, not just by him, but by every trainer gathered here who aimed for new heights. And that the seeds for many more future champions will be sown. I eagerly await news of all of your achievements. Thank you, Chairwoman Gita. Now, alas, it is time for this wonderful tournament to come to an end. But this event seems to be... Wow. 1 minute. Man, my voice is going. This event seems to me to be a wonderful way to build rapport between faculty and students, and invigorate the wider community beyond our walls. So, I hereby declare that the Academy Ace Tournament will not end as a one-time event, and will continue to be held regularly. God, the frame rate on those people, though! We got so few here to get excited, and everyone's got to be locked in at 15 frames. Woo! Awesome, Director Clavel, you are the best. Maybe I'll join in next time, too. Oh my gosh, yes, this is everything I wanted! I do hope you'll participate next time, Miss Nimona. Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it for anything. Well, dear students and staff, that wraps up our very first Academy Ace Tournament, the AAT. Thank you again for joining us here today, and I hope you're all excited for the next one. Bisharp evolves when you knock out a wild Bisharp with auto battle, but it has to be the ones that are guarded by Pawnyard, and you have to do it, I think, 3 times. Yeah, that's a little goofy. I would make sure you got the mythical Pecha Berry via mystery gift before you end it off, just in case. I will do that, thank you. Ian, you did it! Congratulations on winning it all! I'm so happy it almost made me forget the pain of everyone using Arvin's stupid school battle brawl. No, wait! The school battle brawl is good, though! Oh yeah, here's your prize. Sporty cap? I'll have to take a look at that. Director Clavel told me he got caught up in all the excitement and forgot to give it to you. So I guess you get the strongest in-school throne for now, Ian. Oh, the strongest in the school throne for now, Ian. Keep it warm for me. I'm going to be in the tournament next time, and I'll be coming for you. Well, I will definitely say that when I take the throne officially from you as well and maintain my stature there, I certainly would have an open lap. Whenever you feel like entering the tournament again, just talk to the staff at the front desk. You know, Ian, I've relished every day since you moved here to Paldea and became my rival. I'm so glad I met you. I mean it. Me too. Aw, come on, don't make me blush. Anyways, I'll be seeing you on the battle court for a good long time to come. We're gonna take a couple definitions of battle court and play fast and loose with that one. Ro-to-to-to-to. Hello, Ian. This is Jacques. Congratulations on winning the Academy Ace Tournament. I sure am proud to have one of my students become the Academy's ace. Mr. Jacques? Don't worry, Director Clavel. I'll get to the point now. I'm actually calling you to tell you that highly difficult terror raids are cropping up all over the place. We're getting report after report from Academy students about their Pokemon getting injured. We teachers have split up to investigate these raids, but we're still a bit short-handed, so we were wondering if we could enlist in your help since you're the Academy's ace and all. How about it, Ian? Absolutely, I have no problem with that. You win an ugly hat. Good job. Woo, thank you. Your Pokedex automatically records the data we need as you go, so don't worry about that. For now, I'd like you to just take on a lot of these tough Terra Raid battles. But don't get in over your head, even the Academy's ace needs to be careful. I sure would be sad if one of my precious students got injured. Anyways, we're counting on you, so ignore everything I just said and go do the job and do the job well. Alright, how do I... it's probably going to be on the online thing, right? Why can I not use the Poke Portal? Is it something about being inside the school? I know I have paid for the online thing, so that's not the issue. Alright, let's try it out here. Alright, yeah, it was just because we were inside the building. Fair enough. Pop that mystery gift on there. I assume it is via the internet. Let's see what all we get, if anything. Well, I did not get the Pecha Berry, so I have that now. So, good call on that. Thank you, Rigid. I wonder what the item actually looks like, though. What makes it mythical? I am curious enough that I want to check my bag, because I do know you get a couple of pictures from it. I assume there... It really is just a fancy Pecha Berry in a box. Well, alright then. Anyways, so we will kick off with the next leg of the journey next time on the next stream. I think we can manage to knock that out next time. Rigid says there's about 2 hours of content, which is, first of all, pretty awesome that we're getting that much more content still out of this game. But also, you know, it's gonna be one more stream to go, and I'm definitely always down for more Pokemon, one of my most beloved franchises, despite anything you might hear me say regarding the criticisms. You know, as with this and The Legend of Zelda, I critique because I care so much. So thank you so much, everybody who stopped in. Rigid, Richard, Dem, Ash, oh, and Keegs. God, how could I forget Keegs? Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in. I hope to see you next time. Hopefully we continue to enjoy our way through this. Have a blessed one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.